What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Free Spirit Tarot. I am Poetry. You are here for our September reading for the Scorpio zodiac sign. This is not a natal chart reading. This is not a horoscope reading. I am just using my astrology decks in order to help me facilitate what you may be dealing with during the month of September. I have no purpose for these stones other than they look pretty on the table. But let's hop right into it. This, again, like I stated, is for Scorpio. I use the old method of astrology, so we are going off of the dates of October 23rd through November 21st. Scorpios, you're considered to be sort of an enigma. Okay? You're the ruler of the 8th house. You're also considered to be an animal. Usually when people think of Scorpios, they think of some sexual beings. Passionate, sexual, primal, but they also are a bit possessive, a bit compulsive, a bit manipulative, can be a bit extreme at times. This is who this reading is for. Okay, I have two different decks here, but I mainly work with one and then I may pull a secondary planet from the other deck. What I have here in my piles are the planets themselves, the houses, the aspects. The aspects is basically what influence our personalities and influence our certain challenges and potentials, right? Then we have the nodes, whether it's something that's in our past, something we're familiar with, that's in our present or future. And then we also have the asteroids. I may have these in the wrong spot. Yes, okay. Asteroids. So I'm going to be working with the bottom row here. And we just do like a little manual mix up, shuffle up here. What I'm trying to find out right here is what planet that we're going to be working with here in Scorpio. I know, like I said, you're the ruler of the 8th house, but what planet is going to show up for you? Let's go with this one. The moon. We had the moon last reading. So we're going to be dealing with your emotions, okay? So the moon in Scorpio is this particular time is what we're dealing with. And we're dealing with your emotions. Emotions make you cry sometimes. Mm-hmm. Emotions make you feel. I actually don't even know the word. Emotions, let's see. I'll pull from here. And we're dealing with the 9th house. That deals with your schooling, your learning, your education, your knowledge. Okay. What I would do is look at each of these 3, 4, and see whether there is a common bond or a common thing. And that's the thing that we're going to focus on, okay, for the month of September. So when we look at being an actual Scorpio, being transformative, being strategic, being secretive, being sexual, being enticing, then we look at emotions, looking at moods, intuition, our personal needs, our family, our feelings, our femininity. And then we look at the 9th house. We're looking at where we're applying these things in the 9th house, whether it's going to be the philosophy, our publishing, our writing, discovery, law, exploring, travel, ethics, yada, yada, this, yada, yada, that, So what I am seeing for having our moon in Scorpio, our emotions are being... What am I seeing here? Strategic, powerful, passionate, manipulative, the unconscious, primal, obsessive, resourcefulness, intense, extremely powerful. Learning and law and discovery. See, what I'm gathering, what I'm picking up here is dealing with our intuition, with dealing with our personal needs, the unconscious. I'm connecting those to being intense, being powerful, somewhat manipulative, using the law, discovery, how your ethics are getting involved here. Obsession is coming through strong, something that you're deeply obsessive about. Working with your personal needs. You're very moody about something that's dealing with how you are learning or receiving information. But you, like I said, you're quite wise in what you know about this subject matter. Reflecting back on powerfulness, strategic. What I'm seeing for you is that it's something that you're very knowledgeable about, that you're trying to share with others, is what I'm showing. And it may not be coming off the way that you want it to. It's like you're trying to teach people something or about something, and you're getting really emotional about it. You're real passionate about it because this is something that you know, like in and out, right? Because of your intensity that you have, people are may misinterpret it as being manipulative in the sense, like you're playing with their emotions. But you are very resourceful, so you need to figure out a way to not come off as being manipulative. You need to come off. You need to show a way that this is something that you're just passionate about. Okay, so what are we going to do here? What are we going to use to help influence that position, to help people understand who you are, where you're coming from, to have them recognize? Maybe do you do a podcast? It's possible that you do a podcast or you do some type of presentations. You may be in the legal field. You may be a politician. Union, conjunction. You have joined forces that what will work for you is if you have forces that can join together, working together, merging, enhancing your power, strengthening your ideal. You have a lack of individuality. You need to work in a crowd. You need to have these people around you, and usually with conjunctions, right? It is what empowers us, and when we combine it with another planet, our energies merge into one, right? So the idea is that we need this union, this planet, to merge with another planet and they become single. This could be good or bad depending on what the planet is. So, in conjunction, so you have the moon. Our conjunction, what are we dealing with? We're dealing with the moon here, dealing with our emotions. So we're looking at the Leo, who is working with the sun at this particular stage. So, and that's because like the sun is our conjunction that we need to have. It's like only 8 degrees away from where our main emotion that we're working with here, and we're coming up with the sun, which is saying that you have energy, self-awareness, a life force, a spirit, creativity, honor, masculinity, distinction, childness. So what are we looking at? We need two things, and we need to be able to combine both of these things. And one of the things that I noticed on here that we show the femininity with our emotions here. We also need to show our masculine side. We need to show that we're balanced, so that we can reach the masculine and the feminine energy in a person. To want to bring that out. We have to use our ego and our confidence, so to speak. Use our confidence and show people that we are not just strategic. We're not just, you know, trying to push power on someone or trying to push an idea on someone, that we actually care. Okay. Um, so once we combine these together, the sun and the moon, when the sun and the moon work together, you have like almost like a perfect balance going on. Okay. Um, it's what's the word I want to use? It's it's a perfect balance when the sun and the moon can align. You have your ego and your inner feelings. That's what I'm really trying to get at. Your ego, your outside self, your self identity, and your inner self, your inner passions, your inner needs. They all start to meld together, and then you can show people a different side of you that gets them to trust you, and it won't be a manipulative way of, they're just trusting who you are. Let's see. It's only two directions here. Got the South Node and the karmic path with the karmic past. You're used to being in your comfort zone. You used to being a mysterious person, it says. Um, but you leave a lot of business unfinished. You have left a lot of business unfinished, which is probably what's making you untrustworthy in this situation. These people or these persons that you're dealing with possibly know this. Your natural strengths need to shine through. You're familiar with those. These are skill sets that you've had from the past, and you need to show people how your natural gifts and talents are going to help them currently. That's a strength of yours. You have been placing limitations on yourself because you're very, what's the word I want to use? Critical of yourself. Okay. But these are lessons that you had from your past that's going to help you out in this current walk. You got to join forces and work together with people. And your strength in getting people to understand that you have that ability, you have that ability to merge ideas, is going to be showing them what you have done in the past. Okay. Let me get out of here. It's only 4 cards that I got here. Also, we're just gonna mix those on up and pick one. Your Vesta. Show them that you're devoted. You have devotion to this idea, to this what is the cause? Why can I not speak? You are not only committed in self, you're committed spiritually as well. There's a purity in the knowledge that you have. And again, your fertility that we're showing here, um, showing the idea of family, showing the idea that you believe in family and that you support family and that you want to help others and their families. Sometimes you play around too much and you don't want to do that. You want to, your childish nature needs to work hand in hand with the family idea. You don't want to play around to the point where you turn people off, but you want to show people that you care. And sometimes being a little jovial, a little playful can help that. I don't know why I'm seeing a politician. I am definitely seeing a politician in this particular stage. But definitely somebody that's in a position to make things happen for others. A community leader of some sort, a counselor at a school. But definitely your travels, things of the past, things that you've done already, your current talents and gifts will help bring all that into this house. Okay. What's another, like I say, a podcast person? Sometimes you just have to get a little serious. Sometimes you just can't be playing around on your podcast all the time. Sometimes you have to get serious about topics. You may have want to stay away from talking about current affairs, but you need to. You really need to dive into it and let people know how knowledgeable you are and can be in this subject matter. Trying to figure out if there's anything else that's popping out at me. And you have a way to differentiate yourself from other people who are in the field, such as you. You have a way to set yourself apart for them. Well, like I said, whether you do it through being philosophical, have you written a book? It's possible that you've written a book. Possible that you tap into your spiritual side, your holistic side. But you definitely have to let people know that this is not something that you're trying to manipulate them with. Maybe it's a master class that you're trying to give. But like I'm seeing that the femininity is popping out more than the masculine side. So in order for it to work well, you're gonna have, like I said, you have to balance that good. Because I'm really seeing your feminine energy taking a front stage. So if you're very masculine in your delivery, that may be why you seem to be manipulative. Tap into that feminine side. And it's natural. It's not something that you have to make up. It's actually in you. You don't have to suppress it. By doing so, you're keeping yourself stagnant. You're limiting your potential on how well you can grow, how well you can affect others. Why is my eyelash that came out on this conjunction card? All right. Okay, I'm going to place you on a brief second. When I come back, I'll be doing a Kipper card reading to see if it can connect with any of the images or cards that we have showing right now. All right, we're going to do our Kipper card reading. I'm going to do this in the German method where we use master cards to help us determine what messages we're trying to get. Basically, I go through the deck and search for master cards. Then I may place another card underneath it to help clarify that or express the sentiment even further. All right. I pick the number 3. You choose any number. I pick the number 3. Imprisonment is not a master card. They're not masters. I'm going to set them there. Despair is not a master card. The main male. There's that masculine energy popping out. The main female. That balance that I said that you have to have. Marriage is also a master card that is dealing with joining forces with somebody. And despair. I'm sensing you're helping someone, or you're helping the community in a certain sense. Deal with this despair. You're dealing. I believe that it's got to do with the current state of politics at this time. Thief is not a MasterCard. Toil and labor is not a MasterCard. High honor is. Wealthy man. House is a MasterCard. It's the end of the read. That means it does not go any further. Okay. All right, so we have that masculine energy popping up that I was talking about. The feminine energy also, and I said you have to balance and use both of those together. You're going to need that sun and that moon energy together. That's what those male and females are working together. The marriage, you joining forces with others, and you're helping them get through a disparaging moment. Okay, I'm showing that there is high honor and there's a wealthy man in place. So I was getting the pull from somebody that's in the community, a community leader of some sort. And you're making money off of it. You have been. You have made little ends off of it, and which is one reason why people are not as trustworthy of you. But in order to continue on that success, You're going to have to tap into that feminine energy a lot more than you expected it to. And you have to show people that if you join forces together, you know, help them get out of this situation where money is not coming in right, food is not being put on the table. It's going to help make them have a better home. You're going to help improve the home. Maybe you're working for someone that has high honors, someone that may be a politician. Maybe you're on the campaign trail. Maybe you are somebody that just likes to speak out in regards to that person. But you have to show, usually you think of a wealthy man, you think of assholes, you think of arrogance, you think of hoes, somebody always trying to sleep around. But yeah, you're committed to the process of improving this disparity that they are feeling. You are here for the people. That's what I'm showing here. You're here for the people. But leaning into that more feminine side of things will definitely bring you the high praise, the high honor. Maybe you actually are going for a higher house as well, or a higher position as well. You'll get there. It's going to take some convincing, and this is just like the end of the situation. Not that it's dead. It's just it. That's pretty much what your focus should be for September. If you are not currently doing this, then maybe you should start. All right, that's all I got for you, Scorpio. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. See you next month.